Imagine discovering that seemingly harmless objects in your home are literally blocking the flow of abundance in your life. Think about it. You might be praying for prosperity, working tirelessly, seeking financial opportunities, but at the same time, without realizing it, you're keeping around you four specific categories of objects that create energetic fields of scarcity and limitation around you. There exists a subtle, almost invisible truth that traps millions of people in the silence of their own financial battles. The lack of awareness about how the physical environment surrounding us directly influences our capacity to attract and maintain wealth. This trap is not an external problem, nor an enemy we can see with our eyes. It's an energetic void, silent and deep, created by objects that carry vibrations contrary to prosperity. Today, here on Daily Prayer, we're going to reveal how to identify and eliminate these invisible blockers and how to open energetic space for a more abundant life, full of faith, prosperity, and true wealth. And pay attention. What you're going to hear until the end can completely transform the way you organize your environment and your life. Because the most powerful revelation about the fourth object will come last. A discovery that can revolutionize your financial reality in a matter of days. Welcome to Daily Prayer, a place of prayer, faith, and daily inspiration, created especially so you never walk alone on your journey toward the prosperity God has prepared for you. If you're seeking to discover the hidden secrets in your own environment that may be sabotaging your abundance and want to learn how to transform your home into a magnet for prosperity, subscribe to the Daily Prayer channel right now, leave your like on this video, and share it with someone who also needs to hear this transformative revelation. Comment below about the biggest challenge you face in organizing your life and creating space for new things, as your participation helps us create content even more directed toward your specific needs. The truth is that most people have no idea they're creating their own energetic prison through the objects they choose to keep around them. They're like invisible anchors that bind us to a past of limitation, silent barriers that prevent the natural flow of abundance in our lives. Today, we're going to expose these blockers to the light and show how to remove them strategically to create a powerful vacuum that will be filled with prosperity. Before we reveal the four specific objects you must eliminate, it's fundamental to understand a spiritual principle that governs all manifestation of abundance: the law of vacuum. Jesus taught us about this law when he said, "You cannot put new wine into old wineskins, for the wineskins will burst." In the same way, you cannot attract new abundance while maintaining objects that vibrate at the frequency of old scarcity. In the physical world, this law manifests through the scientific concept that nature abhors a vacuum. When you consciously remove objects that represent limitation, you're creating an energetic vacuum that the universe automatically tries to fill. The question is, with what type of energy are you allowing this vacuum to be filled? The first object you must eliminate from your life today is all broken, defective, or inadequately functioning items. This includes broken appliances you're keeping to fix someday, torn or stained clothes that have been in your closet for months, damaged furniture, defective electronics, cracked household utensils, dead or dying plants, and any object that has lost its original functionality. You might be thinking, but this is just normal disorganization. Everyone has these things. Here's what you need to understand. Broken objects carry a specific vibration of deterioration, decline, and end of cycle. They send a constant message to your subconscious that things in your life are deteriorating, that resources are scarce, that you can't afford to replace what's damaged. Dr. Bruce Lipton, a world-renowned cellular biologist, discovered that our physical environment sends constant signals to our cells through what he calls environmental perception. When you're constantly surrounded by broken objects, your cells receive signals of scarcity and limitation, adjusting your internal biology to operate in survival mode instead of prosperity mode. Furthermore, there's a deep energetic principle at work here. In ancient Eastern philosophy, broken objects are considered carriers of negative chi, stagnant energy that blocks the natural flow of life and abundance. Even if you don't completely believe in these concepts, it's impossible to deny the psychological impact that a disorganized environment full of broken items has on your mind and emotional well-being. When you keep broken objects around you, you're unconsciously programming yourself to accept the broken as normal in your life. You're sending a message to the universe that you're content with things that don't work properly. And the universe, which operates through precise laws of correspondence, will respond by sending more broken situations to your life, relationships that don't work, defective job opportunities, investments that go wrong. The transformation begins the moment you make a conscious decision to no longer tolerate the broken in your environment. Do a complete audit of your home today. Go from room to room, identifying everything that's broken, defective, or non-functional. Be radical. If you haven't fixed it in the last 6 months, it's very likely you never will. Immediately discard everything that no longer has viable repair or would cost more to fix than to replace. Donate what can still serve other people. Throw away what truly no longer serves anyone. And here's the powerful secret. As you remove each broken item, declare aloud, "I remove the broken from my life and open space for the new and prosperous." You'll be surprised by what happens in the days following this cleaning. It's as if the universe interprets your action as a sign that you're ready to receive new and better things. Opportunities begin to appear, resources manifest in unexpected ways, and you experience a sense of lightness and possibility you haven't felt in a long time. The second object you must eliminate is all things that represent painful memories from your financial past. This includes documents from debts already paid that you keep for security, objects you bought in moments of extreme difficulty as a reminder to never again, gifts from people who caused you financial problems, items you bought during periods of emotional depression, clothes you wore when you were in difficult financial situations, and any physical object that automatically connects you to memories of scarcity or failure. Here's something few understand. Your subconscious mind doesn't differentiate between past, present, and future. When you keep objects that emotionally connect you to periods of financial difficulty, you're constantly reactivating the neural circuits associated with those negative experiences. It's like forcing your brain to relive scarcity repeatedly, programming it to expect more of the same. Dr. Joe Dispenza, a world-renowned neuroscientist, explains that objects function as neurological anchors that automatically trigger specific emotional states. When you see or touch an object associated with painful financial memories, your nervous system immediately returns to the emotional state you experienced at that moment in the past. Fear, anxiety, desperation, shame. This isn't just theory. Research in neuroplasticity shows that our brain is constantly being shaped by the physical environment surrounding us. Objects loaded with negative memories keep active the neural circuits of financial trauma, preventing the formation of new circuits associated with abundance and prosperity. The Bible teaches us about the importance of forgetting the things that are behind. Paul wrote to the Philippians, "Brothers, I do not consider myself yet to have taken hold of it, but one thing I do, forgetting what is behind and straining toward what is ahead, I press on toward the goal." Keeping objects that bind you to a painful financial past is the opposite of moving forward toward what's ahead of you. Do a powerful exercise. Walk through your house and identify objects that immediately make you remember financially difficult periods. It might be that outfit you wore when you were unemployed. It might be that cheap furniture you bought because you couldn't afford anything better. It might be that decoration you received from someone who later caused you financial problems. Trust your intuition. You'll know how to recognize these objects by the feeling they cause when you see them. Remove all these items with a conscious ceremony. Don't simply throw them away, but make a declaration of liberation. I release my painful financial past and open my heart to the abundance God has prepared for me. You're literally cutting energetic cords that kept you tied to experiences of limitation. The third object that must be eliminated immediately is all items that represent a scarcity or poverty mindset. This includes extremely cheap objects you bought only for the low price, without considering quality. Items you keep in case you need them someday, even knowing you'll never use them. Worn clothes you keep to wear at home. Second-rate utensils that work poorly, but you keep because they still serve. Ugly decorations you accept because at least they fill the space. And anything you keep, based on the principle that it's better to have something bad than nothing at all. This category is particularly insidious because it seems like financial prudence, but it's actually a manifestation of scarcity mindset. When you surround yourself with low-quality objects chosen only by the criterion of extreme economy, you're programming your subconscious mind to accept mediocrity as standard in your life. There's a fundamental difference between being financially wise and operating from a scarcity mindset. Financial wisdom means making intelligent choices that maximize value and durability. Scarcity mindset means making choices based on fear that there won't be enough resources in the future. Millionaire T. Harv Eker, author of Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, discovered in his studies on wealth psychology that prosperous people prefer to have fewer high-quality items than many inferior quality items. They understand that quality attracts quality, and that surrounding yourself with well-made things programs the mind to expect excellence in all areas of life. When you keep low-quality objects around you, you're sending a constant message to your subconscious. I deserve only the basic, the simple, the cheap. And your subconscious, which controls more than 90% of your daily decisions, works tirelessly to confirm this belief, directing you toward low-paying opportunities, mediocre relationships, and limited life experiences. The transformation begins when you consciously decide to eliminate all objects that represent making do with what you have instead of doing it the right way. This doesn't mean you need to buy expensive things immediately, but it means you stop accepting mediocrity as a permanent standard in your life. Prefer to have fewer quality things than many bad things. Make a careful selection. Keep only objects you genuinely appreciate, that work well, and that make you feel good when you use or see them. If you're not proud to show a certain object to a visitor, it's a clear sign that it's vibrating at the frequency of scarcity in your life. Now, if you've made it this far and are recognizing some of these objects in your own home, leave a comment saying, "I'm ready to create space for abundance." This isn't just an interaction in the video. It's a declaration of faith that marks the beginning of transformation of your environment and consequently, your financial reality. Now we come to the fourth and most powerful object you must eliminate from your life. All items that represent excessive attachment to control or fear of lack. This category includes exaggerated stocks of products you buy as a precaution, objects you keep in case of emergency, even when you have other available resources. Multiple versions of the same item because you're afraid of running out. Clothes you haven't worn in years but keep in case they come back in fashion. And anything you keep moved by fear that you won't be able to obtain it again in the future. This fourth object is the most subtle and at the same time the most powerful abundance blocker because it's directly connected to our relationship with faith and trust in divine provision. When you stock excessively or keep objects out of fear of lack, you're operating from a fundamental belief that resources are limited and that you need to protect yourself against future scarcity. Jesus taught us about this issue in the Sermon on the Mount. Therefore, do not worry, saying, "What shall we eat? Or what shall we drink? Or what shall we wear? For the pagans run after all these things, and your heavenly Father knows that you need them. But seek first his kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things will be given to you as well." Excessive attachment to objects out of fear of scarcity is the physical manifestation of lack of faith in divine provision. It's an unconscious declaration that you don't trust that God can and will supply your needs at the appropriate time. And this lack of trust creates an energetic blockage that prevents the natural flow of abundance in your life. Dr. Wayne Dyer, renowned psychologist and spiritual author, dedicated years studying the relationship between material attachment and spiritual prosperity. In his research, he discovered that people who maintain a healthy relationship with material objects, using them, appreciating them, but not excessively attaching to them, experience freer flow of resources and opportunities in their lives. There's a crucial difference between having things and being possessed by them. When you keep objects out of fear, you actually become enslaved by them. They begin to control your decisions, occupy your mental space, and drain your emotional energy. You stop trusting the natural flow of life and begin operating from a survival mentality. True abundance operates on the principle of circulation, not accumulation. Water that circulates remains fresh and clean. Water that stays still rots. Similarly, resources that circulate in your life multiply and renew themselves. Resources you hold on to out of fear become stagnant and block the entry of new flows. Do a deep exercise in self-knowledge. Walk through your house and identify objects you keep moved by fear of not being able to obtain them again. Ask yourself honestly, am I keeping this because I genuinely use and appreciate it, or am I keeping it out of insecurity? The answer from your heart will always be clear and immediate. Start by eliminating the most obvious excesses. If you have 10 boxes of detergent stored because it was on sale, keep 2 and donate the rest. If you have clothes you haven't worn in more than 2 years, in case you need them someday, donate them to someone who can use them now. If you keep broken objects to use the parts someday, get rid of them and trust that when you need something similar, resources will appear. Each item you remove because you were operating from fear creates energetic space for something better to enter your life. You're literally making a declaration of faith. I trust that I'll have what I need when I need it, and therefore I can release what I'm not using now. But here's the deepest secret about these 4 types of objects. They don't operate in isolation. They work together to create what Feng Shui specialists call stagnant energy, an invisible field that blocks the natural flow of life and prosperity. Broken objects create energetic deterioration. Painful memories keep you tied to the past. Low-quality items program mediocrity. Attachment from fear blocks circulation. When these 4 elements are simultaneously present in your house, they create a negative synergy that can completely sabotage your prosperity efforts, no matter how much you work or strive externally. It's like trying to fill a leaky bucket. No matter how much water you put in, it always leaks through the energetic holes created by these objects. Now comes the moment for the most powerful revelation we promised at the beginning of this video. After identifying the 4 types of objects that block abundance, there's a specific elimination protocol that can exponentially accelerate the manifestation of prosperity in your life. This isn't just an organization method, it's a spiritual ritual of energetic transformation. The secret lies in understanding that the order in which you remove these objects activates progressively more powerful spiritual laws. It's not enough to simply get rid of them randomly. You need to follow a specific sequence that creates an energetic cascade of liberation and manifestation. First, start by eliminating all broken and defective objects. Do this in a single day, preferably during the morning when your mental energy is clearest. As you remove each item, declare aloud, I remove the broken from my life and allow the new and perfect to enter. This first phase breaks the energetic patterns of deterioration that were operating in your life. Second, on the following day, eliminate all painful memories from your financial past. This should be a more contemplative and emotional process. For each object removed, make a prayer of forgiveness. Lord, I forgive my financial past and release all negative emotions associated with it. I open my heart to receive the blessings you have prepared for me. This phase cuts energetic cords that kept you tied to limited experiences. Third, Dedicate the third day to eliminating objects that represent scarcity mindset. While removing each low-quality item, declare, "I deserve abundance and quality in all areas of my life. I refuse to accept mediocrity as standard." This phase reprograms your subconscious mind to expect excellence. On the fourth day, work with objects kept out of fear and excessive attachment. This is the deepest and most transformative phase. For each item released, make this powerful prayer. I trust completely in God's provision. I release control and allow abundance to flow freely in my life. But here's the most important element of the protocol. After completing the 4 days of elimination, you must do something that will seem contradictory. You need to consciously buy a new object that represents abundance to you. It doesn't need to be expensive, but it needs to be something that makes you feel prosperous when you look at it. It can be an elegant pen, a beautiful decoration piece, quality clothing, or any object that vibrates at prosperity's frequency. The important thing is that it's the first new thing that enters your house after the energetic cleaning, and that you buy it with gratitude and expectation, not with guilt or fear. This object will function as an energetic anchor for the new reality you're creating. Every time you see it, your subconscious mind receives the signal that abundance is welcome in your life, that you deserve beautiful things, that prosperity is a natural state for you. Dr. Masaru Emoto, Japanese scientist famous for his studies on water memory, discovered that objects can be programmed with specific intentions through prayer and gratitude. When you place this new object in your house with the conscious intention that it represents abundance, you're creating an energetic field that magnetizes more prosperity. During the 30 days following the elimination protocol, carefully observe what happens in your life. Many people report impressive synchronicities, job opportunities that appear unexpectedly, money that arrives from forgotten sources, relationships that open up, investments that start yielding better results. This isn't coincidence or magical thinking. It's the operation of precise spiritual laws that govern the manifestation of abundance. When you remove energetic blockages from your physical environment, you're also removing blockages from your emotional and financial reality. The Bible teaches us about this principle when it speaks of the need to prepare the way of the Lord. In the book of Isaiah, it's written, "Prepare the way for the Lord. Make straight paths for him." When you consciously prepare your physical environment to receive abundance, you're also preparing your heart and mind for the blessings God wants to pour out on you. If you've made it to the end of this video, it demonstrates that you have genuine hunger for transformation and are willing to make the necessary adjustments in your environment to attract true abundance. Leave a comment saying, "I accept abundance and clear my path to receive it." This public declaration will strengthen your commitment to change. Remember, you don't need to do everything at once. If the idea of 4 consecutive days seems too intense, adapt the pace to your reality. The important thing is to start today with at least one category of objects. Each item removed is a step toward financial freedom. Abundance isn't an accident. It's a consequence of alignment. Alignment between your physical environment, your thoughts, your emotions, and God's will for your life. When you consciously create physical space, you're also creating spiritual space for miracles. If this message touched your heart deeply and you recognize that you need to transform your environment to attract prosperity, subscribe to the Daily Prayer channel right now. We have a growing community of people who are revolutionizing their lives through practical application of spiritual principles. Don't forget to leave your like on this video and share it with someone who also needs to discover the power of creating space for abundance. Your sharing can be the instrument God uses to transform another person's life. In the final screen, you'll find 2 essential videos. The first reveals the 7 rooms in the house that most block wealth, showing specific areas that need special attention in creating a prosperous environment. The second presents how to organize each room to attract money automatically, a practical guide to Christian feng shui for maximizing the flow of abundance in your home. May God bless your transformation process, and may each space created be filled with abundant prosperity. Remember, your environment today is creating your reality tomorrow. Consciously choose what deserves to occupy space in your life. Until the next video here on Daily Prayer, and may God's abundance manifest powerfully through order and beauty in your home. Amen.